going to go through a couple of things with you, if that's okay? Okay. Everything we discuss is limits of confidentiality. Everything we discuss here will be kept confidential, except for the following exceptions: danger to self or to others, sexual or physical abuse or neglect of minor, vulnerable adult or elder. If I have to be subpoenaed with the information that I have about you, I have to be authorized to go to court with that. And also threat to the life of the President of the United States. I have to report that as well. Okay. You understand everything I just said?
Yep.
Okay, good. We can move on. Tell me why you're here today, Veronica.
Well, I'm here because, my boyfriend's threatening to leave me, and it's really distressing to me.
Okay.
Because I really just can't imagine my life without him.
Okay.
Because, we're perfect for each other.
Perfect for each other. Did he tell you that you were perfect for each other? That's just something.
No, he wants to leave me because he thinks that I'm just crazy and that I just need attention all the time.
Okay.
Which, everybody loves a little attention.
Have you done any research on the internet about what you're going through?
No, I like being on the internet though.
You do?
Yeah. I have like 3,000 Facebook friends.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of friends.
Yeah.
1,000, huh? Keeps you busy, huh?
It does. But my life is pretty chaotic.
It is.
Yeah.
Could you tell me why?
Well, some of my friends are just wonderful, but others are really terrible and are like out to get me.
Your friends are out to get you?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Okay, why would you say that?
Well, my boyfriend and I are both pretty popular, and so they're kind of like choosing sides. And there was this one incident where I put a post on Facebook saying that I had taken a lot of pills, a whole lot of pills, and I wanted to get my boyfriend to come over and spend time with me. And I'd probably been drinking too much, and so he came to my apartment, and I was pretty much like drunk and naked on the floor.
Okay.
But I didn't really take any pills.
Okay.
I just really want to spend time with him.
But you were drunk and naked on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh. Like I said, have you so you haven't been on the internet to assess how you're feeling about
No.
what you're feeling right now. How old were you when you first had these problems, or when you first thought you was going through these issues?
Well, I really started being popular in my senior year of high school,
Okay.
and that's when people started to not like me as much anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'd probably say that, when I got to college, I started drinking a little bit more.
You did.
Yeah.
You got to college. Okay. And a little bit more is.
Instead of just Friday and Saturday, now it's like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday.
Sometimes Sunday. Okay. So how often do you experience these issues that you're going through, these feelings?
Well, I just worry about things a lot.
Okay.
Probably like most days.
Okay. So is it constantly? Like every moment of the day? Or is it?
No, it's just on and off, but probably more days than it's not.
So would it be several times a week?
Yeah.
Several times a month?
Several times a week.
A week? What are you able to do because of these problems? What are you not able to do because of these problems?
Well, my dance has been suffering, and that's what I'm going to school for.
Oh, okay. You want to school to be a dancer?
Yeah. I want to be a professional dancer,
Oh, okay.
like for the Lakers.
For the Lakers.
Yeah, I want to be a Lakers girl.
Okay. Okay. That's good. What are you able to do with only great difficulty and discomfort because of these issues that you're going through?
Well, some of my friendships have suffered because, I can't help it that everybody wants to be with me.
Everybody, huh?
Yeah. Boys, girls, everybody. so some of my friends are like jealous,
Okay.
so it's really hard for me to get along with them.
So friends are jealous. Okay. Since your problems began, have you had any periods where you were free or mostly free of these issues, these problems?
No.
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 Never, huh?
No.
Are there any situations or circumstances that seems to make your problems worse?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Definitely when I'm like, getting drunk with my friends.
Getting crunk?
Yeah.
Oh, what's this?
It's like when you get drunk and
Oh,
you
okay.
do a little something on the side too.
And what's that on the side?
Well, it varies. Depends on the party.
Okay. And it varies from can you give me 2 examples?
Like sometimes it's weed.
Okay.
Sometimes, we snort some Addy, Adderall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay. Are there any situations or circumstances that seem to make your problems better?
When I'm with my boyfriend,
Oh, when you
things aren't always better when he's there.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's like a black hole in my soul when he's not here. Like right now, I feel like I'm suffering a little.
You do. Is there some way I can make you feel comfortable?
No,
Okay.
I just need you
You just need to be with
all the time.
And does he do the crop Adderall and the
Everybody does.
Oh, every what parts of your life have been affected by your problems, Veronica?
I mean, mostly my social life.
Your social life.
Yeah, but a little bit school too.
Okay. What about family relationships?
No, my family doesn't really know what's going on.
Okay.
I blocked them on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
They don't need to know everything about my life.
What about financially?
No. I'm on a full ride scholarship.
Oh, you are. That's beautiful. What about work?
I don't work.
No, you don't work. Okay. Legal? Legal problems of any kind?
Well, I've been really impulsive lately, and I got a lot of speeding tickets
Oh, you
recently.
do? Okay.
Yeah. But nothing more major than that.
Okay. Have you sought treatment for any complaint so far?
No.
No, no treatments.
No.
Has anything you came up with on your own worked or helped?
Just spending time with my boyfriend.
Are you currently having any thoughts or plans to hurt or kill yourself, Veronica?
Well, I mean, every once in a while, I've taken my boyfriend's shoe, his cleat,
Okay.
and I'll cut myself with it when he doesn't pay attention to me.
And how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel,
It does.
yeah. And then he usually tries to help me.
It does.
Yeah, every time.
So has there ever been a time when you were suicidal?
No.
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 Are you currently having any thoughts or plans to hurt or kill someone else?
No.
No. Has there ever been another time when you were homicidal?
No.
Do you often hold a grudge, Veronica?
No.
Since the age of 15, have you ever been in a physical fight, scuffle, or altercation?
No.
Have you ever had feelings of uncontrollable rage?
No.
Have you ever had thoughts about harming others?
No.
Do you keep firearms in your home?
No.
How has your energy level been in the last month? I'm going to give you a couple examples. I'm tired all day. I have significant energy the second half of the day, the afternoon and evening, but not the first half, the morning, where I wake up tired.
I've actually had pretty high energy lately.
You do?
Yep.
So you have significant energy all day.
Yeah, it's probably from the Adderall.
Okay. Has your sleep been satisfactory in the last month?
No.
No. Can you tell me why?
I I just feel like I can't sleep, and if I sleep, it's like 4 hours a night.
4 hours a night? When you do sleep, when you wake up, do you feel rested?
No.
No, you don't. On average, how many hours of sleep are you getting each night, Veronica?
Like 4.
Like 4, you said 4, right? Do you have nightmares or disturbing dreams?
No.
You don't? Do you have problems falling asleep?
Yes.
You do? Do you have problems waking up in the middle of the night?
No.
Do you wake up in the morning much earlier than you would like to?
No.
Do you use any treatment for sleep?
No.
Do you nap?
No.
Oh, you don't nap at all?
No.
Okay. And what are your sleeping arrangements? Do you sleep alone? Do you sleep in bed with a partner? Do you sleep in the same room but in different beds with a partner or pet?
I mean, sometimes with my partner, sometimes by myself. It's 50-50.
Is it?
Except right now, he's pretty upset with me.
Yes.
So it's been like a week.
And so you don't work?
No.
Has your level of interest in sex or sex drive changed?
Yeah, my
It
sex
has?
drive's been like crazy.
Oh, it has?
Yeah, crazy high.
Crazy high. Have your bladder or bowel habits changed?
No,
Has your appetite in the last month changed?
it decreased a lot.
It did. So it decreased.
Yeah.
Has your body weight in the last month decreased or increased or stable?
It decreased.
It decreased as well. Okay. Please indicate what areas of your life are stressing you, Veronica. Financially,
No.
housing,
No.
romantic relationships,
Oh, yes.
family relationships,
No.
friendships,
Yes.
occupational,
No.
you don't worry, educational,
A little bit.
loneliness,
No.
legal problems.
I'm a little.
Okay.
Say if I get one more ticket, my license will be suspended.
It will. Okay. In the last month, has there been a period of time when you were feeling depressed or down most of the day?
Yeah.
It was. If so, what was that like?
It was really dark.
It was dark. What do you mean dark?
Like it just felt really cold and alone, like I was in a cave by myself.
How long did that last, Veronica?
2 days.
2 days?
It was right after my boyfriend said that he couldn't handle my moods anymore.
Okay. In the last month, what about losing interest or pleasure in things you really enjoyed?
No.
Okay. Have you ever had a period of time when you were feeling so good, excited, or hyper that other people thought you were not your normal self? Or you were so hyper that you got into trouble?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Can you explain that to me?
Well, I mean, one of my speeding tickets, I was just so excited about my new car
Okay.
that I just had to drive it and see how fast it would go.
Oh, okay. So you was
So-
driving over the speed limit?
Yeah, I mean, I was going like 82 and a 55. So the cop was really nice, though. He bumped it down to 70.
We did.
Yeah. But my friends were saying that that's not really something I would do.
Okay. Your friends thought that was a strange behavior?
Usually pretty level-headed.
What about receiving special messages from the TV, radio, or newspaper, or from the things, or from the way things were arranged around you?
No.
No. What about anyone going out of their way to give you a hard time or trying to hurt you?
No.
Have you ever felt that you were especially important in some way, or that you had special power to do things that other people could not?
No.
Have you ever felt that you had committed a crime or done something terrible for which you should be punished?
No.
Did you ever feel that you had a special secret relationship with someone famous or someone you didn't know very well?
No.
Did you ever hear things that other people couldn't, such as noises or the voices of people whispering or talking?
No.
Did you ever have visions or see things that other people couldn't see?
No.
Have you ever had a panic attack when you suddenly felt frightened or anxious or suddenly developed a lot of physical symptoms?
No.
Were you ever afraid of going out of the house alone, being in a crowd, standing in a line, or traveling on buses or trains?
No.
Is there anything that you have been afraid to do or felt uncomfortable doing in front of other people, like speaking,
No.
eating? Are there any other things you have been especially afraid of, like flying, seeing blood, getting a shot, heights,
No.
closed places, certain kinds of animals or insects?
No. Fearless.
Have you ever been bothered by thoughts that didn't make any sense and kept coming back to you even when you tried to not have them?
No.
Thoughts like hurting someone even though you really didn't want to be or being contaminated by germs or dirt? None of those. Was there ever anything that you had to do over and over again and couldn't resist doing?
No.
In the last 6 months, have you been particularly nervous or anxious, Veronica?
No.
Have you ever had a time when you weighed much less than other people thought you ought to weigh?
Yes.
Have you often had times when your eating was out of control?
No.
Sometimes things happen to people that are extremely upsetting. Things like being in a life-threatening situation, like a major disaster, very serious accident or fire, being physically assaulted or raped, seeing another person killed or dead or badly hurt, or hearing about something horrible that has happened to someone you are close to. At any time during your life, have any of these kinds of things happened to you?
Well, when I was 16, I was sexually assaulted.
Were by, would you tell me?
It was by a friend's boyfriend at a party.
Were you drinking or doing anything at this party?
I was drinking.
You was drinking. Okay. I'm going to ask you about some current medications that you may be on or not on, Veronica. Are there any drugs that you're on right now,
Prescribed to me?
including psychiatric medications?
No.
Let's see. Have you had any problems? Oh, you don't take medications. Okay. And you don't have anything prescribed to you, right?
No.
Please indicate any medications you took for a mental health problem like anxiety or depression.
No.
None. Okay. Do you currently have a therapist or a counselor?
No.
You don't? Okay, do you have any past psychological treatments, Veronica? Have you ever been hospitalized or had partially hospitalized?
No. No hospitalization.
None.
I saw a therapist once.
You did?
Yes, after myself when I was 16.
And what happened? How did that go?
We had one meeting and I didn't really care for her.
You did.
So I didn't come back.
Didn't return. Sometimes that happens. Do you remember the name of your psychiatrist? Your therapist?
Melanie Colley.
When did you begin seeing her? At the age of 16, right?
Yep, just once.
Just once. And what problems or issues were you working on with her?
Sexual assault.
Your sexual
Assault.
assault. What has improved for you since seeing her?
Well, nothing really.
Nothing. That's why you didn't go back.
So I didn't go back.
Have you ever had a psychiatric hospitalization? No. Have you ever had a partial? No. Have you ever had electroconvulsive therapy?
Nope.
No. Okay. please provide some immediate questions about provide some questions about your immediate family for me?
Sure.
As far as your parents, let's talk about your mom. Is she still alive?
Yes.
She is. And what age is your mom?
She is 50.
50. And what does she do? Occupation?
Just stay at home mom.
What's that? Has your mother been treated for a psychiatric or drug or alcohol problem?
She's never been treated, but she's a wasp.
She's a what?
She's a wasp. She drinks a lot of wine.
Oh, she does. Okay. And as far as your father, is he living?
Yes.
He is. And what's his age?
He's 52.
52. And his occupation?
He's a pharmaceutical technician.
And has been treated for psychiatric or alcohol problems? No. Okay. In your extended family, has anyone suffered from a mental illness or problems with alcohols and drugs?
My grandma drinks a lot too.
Your grandma?
Yep.
Has she been treated?
No.
And is that it?
Yep.
Has anyone been hospitalized? Any signs or anything?
No.
No hospitalization? And do you have any siblings, Veronica? Oh, you're the only child?
Yep.
Wow. Is your parents married?
Yes.
They are. They did marry.
They're still married.
They are. Okay.
I get along with them well.
You do.
They pay for my school expenses.
What was your favorite subject in school?
Gym.
And what was your least?
Math.
Did you ever have to repeat a grade?
No.
Were you ever in special class or diagnosed with a learning disability?
No.
Did you ever have disciplinary problems such as suspension or expulsion? Did you play sports in high school?
Yes.
You did. And what sports were they?
Soccer, basketball, and track. And dance line.
And dancing. Okay. And your relationship with your parents are pretty good. Do you affiliate with any religion?
Nope.
What do you do to relax?
Dance.
Dance. Do you have any hobbies, Barbara?
Dance.
Dance. Do you have any pets?
No.
Have the problems that we've been talking about at the beginning, when we started the beginning of this questionnaire, have you gotten reprimanded or fired from any job?
No.
You haven't? Have you ever been on disability for a medical or psychiatric problem?
No, I've never had a job.
You never had a job?
No.
And you never been in the military services?
No.
And as far as the law, you just have a couple of speeding tickets, but you get one more, you'd be reprimanded and have to go to court. You know that, okay. Right. Have you ever had any crimes as far as shoplifting, vandalism, weapons offense, probation violations, burglary or larceny, drug charges? Drug charges, robbery, homicide, forgery, assault, prostitution?
No.
Okay. You never been incarcerated?
No.
What is the most stressful thing that's ever happened to you, from?
I think being assaulted.
As an adult, have you ever been the victim of a crime? Better be you have been. What is the best things that ever happened to you?
The best thing?
Mm-hmm.
Getting the full ride to school for dance.
You've tried alcohol, right?
Yes.
You spoke about that.
Yeah.
How How old were you when you tried it?
15.
15. When drinking the most, how many days a week did you drink?
6.
6. How much did you drink on each occasion?
6 to 7 drinks.
7 drinks. Have you ever passed out while drinking?
Yep.
You have. Have you ever blacked out while drinking?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Have you ever had any legal problems from drinking?
No.
No. Okay. Do we have enough time? Okay. Have you ever had problems from having too much? How often do you have a drink containing alcohol? Never, monthly or less, 2 times a month, 3 times a month, week?
Weekly.
Weekly.
A couple times a week.
How many drinks containing alcohol do you have on a typical day when you are drinking? 1, 2, 3, 4,
4,
5,
5, 6.
How often do you have 6 or more drinks on one occasion? Never, less than monthly, weekly.
Weekly.
How often during the last year have you found that you were not able to stop drinking once you had started? Never, less than monthly, weekly.
Monthly.
How often during the last year have you failed to do what's normally expected because of drinking?
Monthly.
How often during the last year have you needed the first drink in the morning to get yourself going after a drinking session? Never. How often during the last year have you had a feeling of guilt or remorse after drinking?
Monthly.
How often during the last year have you been unable to remember what happened the night before because of your drinking?
Weekly.
Have you or someone else been injured because of your drinking?
No.
Has a relative, friend, doctor, or other healthcare worker been concerned about your drinking or suggested you cut down on it?
Yes, friends.
Do you currently have any significant medical problems requiring a doctor? Have you ever had other significant medical problems requiring physician's care? Have you ever? Never. Never had surgeries?
No.
Have you been hospitalized for any reason due surgery? No surgeries. Have you ever had a broken bone?
No.
Okay. Do you frequently have pain in somewhere in your body?
No.
All right. Okay, Veronica. Well, thank you. It's been great. I hope to see you again.